Now the bedroll itself is made up of basically 3 layers. We have a vintage Russian poncho. We have a mylar tarp. And then we have a wooby or a poncho liner. I've also incorporated a very large or rather large military canvas laundry bag that we're going to use as a browse bag. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to set this up in a what I would consider to be a cold weather configuration. This is a kit. As we really start looking at it, your imagination is just going to go, right? Because there really is tons of different structures, different sleeping styles, just the versatility of these 3 components together. The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes it so fun. This is why this is one of the funnest bedroll kits for me to use. Now this is just paracord ridgeline. You want to aim for around the waist. So I've got some tar line here, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make up a couple Prusik style soft shackle loops for the ridge line. Now when it comes to putting up the mylar tarp, there's really several different options you can go with. The way I'm gonna do it today is I'm gonna make like an A-frame structure with it. The idea is that we take the vintage Russian poncho, and we take the poncho liner, and we make, in a sense, a sleeping bag. And we lay underneath that mylar tarp with a long fire in front of us. That will produce enough heat to keep you comfortable in some really cold conditions, especially if you've layered properly with clothing. So again, we're just going to take some tar line, and we're just going to make some simple Prusik style soft shackles. And what that is we just want to take your both ends, and you want to just do a simple thumb knot. And then once we've done that, we'll look around for a couple pieces of twig, and we'll take the Prusik soft shackle, and we'll tighten up our tarp on the ridge line that we've created. Now we're going to take our stakes, we're going to stake out the bag. Also want to add, because I know that some of you guys probably caught me using this, and I know how you guys are. You guys are going to be like, Dutch, what was that? This is a hatchet head from Germany, and it was used in the military at some point, but it was used in the fire brigades, and it is a vintage head. I was lucky enough to find it at a flea market for $1. It was in bad shape. I was able to restore it as much as I could. This is the original orange color, and I did put a new edge on it, and I happened to have a nice handle laying around. Absolutely love this thing. Again, this is a German military brigade hatchet. How it ended up in Southern Virginia is beyond me, but it did, and I was able to pick it up really cheap and absolutely love this thing. It's got a nice little hammer here. It's got a nice edge now. It's not too heavy, and with this antique handle that I had, it just worked out perfectly. Now at this point, we take our browse bag, our laundry bag, and we start filling it with debris. Once we've got that filled up with leaves and debris, we'll go ahead and put that aside. Now we're going to take our Russian poncho and we're going to lay it underneath the structure. Now we take our debris bag that's full at this point. Now we take our poncho liner and we're going to double that up. So there you have it. Just an amazing, fun bedroll 4-season. I'm going to call it 4-season. As long as you're not living in Alaska. Work for cold weather. Now in the front here, we would go ahead and we would do a long fire to really keep that warmth and heat hitting off the top of this tarp and bouncing back down into where we're sleeping. Because the kit is so light and when it's rolled up so thin, you can easily add an old school sleeping mat if you're looking for comfort, and it won't add too much to the girth or the weight. Now when you've got it set up like this, go ahead and tie your ends together on your poncho liner, and you could even go one step further. You could actually use the holes in the grommets on the poncho to actually stake it in place too if you're worried about everything moving around on you. With the browse bag stuffed for extra insulation and of course comfort, I really sleep really good when I use this. Now in a warm condition, heavy downpour and rain, go ahead and take your ridge line, lower your ridge line, actually come completely over your ridge line and stake it in. Throw your sleeping gear inside and crawl in. It's a little tight, but it works, and as long as you are careful about where you set up at and you're on good ground. That type of configuration, the heavy downpour, will absolutely keep your gear dry. Cold, and you could even use this in light downpour, okay, or in light rain. You could probably get away with it in heavy downpour too, but ideally you want to use this setup right here for when it's really, really cold and you don't have a lot of moisture. And again, you want to go with a long fire right in the front, pretty close to you, to make sure all that heat is radiating and bouncing off of your tarp into your sleeping cavity. Mylar tarp, vintage Russian poncho. If you can't get a hold of a vintage Russian poncho, you can use a piece of canvas, same size. Shoot for that 6 foot by 6 foot or 7 foot by 7 foot area. And just a vintage surplus or new surplus poncho liner. Now, if you want to get one that has the hole in the middle, by all means do so. I'll never use it that way, and I would rather just not to have the hole in the middle. So that's why I went with the farm blue one. I think that you could probably put this kit together if you're smart and you really look around. I think that you could easily put something very close to this together for well under $100. This allows you to be versatile and allows you to go out into just cold weather, snow, rain, doesn't matter what your conditions are. This type of kit will get you through a night. Now, in the next video, we're going to be stepping it back again, and we're going to be doing a traditional bed sleeve cold weather bedroll kit. And you're going to be seeing a lot of traditional stuff in there. It's not going to be anything modern. This hits on the modern. For you modern guys, this hits on the tactical side of things for you tactical guys, and it's still appealing to traditional guys like me. Absolutely love this kit. It's a fun kit. I highly recommend you go out and you pick something like this up just to have fun with. And like I said, use your imagination. With the 3 components that we have here, we could just do tons of crazy fun things out in the wilderness and have fun while we're doing it.